Is something going wrong? Well, guess what? It's someone else's fault today.
I like it.
Hello and welcome back to the Croak and Crow podcast. I am Spencer Cartier.
I am Samsung.
Samsung,
Yeah.
not Samson.
Nope.
And this here is Frank, the Bucket Hat Bros.
Yeah.
And
We're
then
the
you're
hat
the
brigade.
baseball
Yeah.
hat boy.
My coexist hat.
Coexist. It is feeling like a bucket hat kind of day. It's a beautiful spring day out. It's a little rainy.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's the time to put on the old bucket hat.
Yeah.
You get 360 degrees of brim.
Yes.
I am brimming today.
And it's raining, so like you could.
It'll just shoot off away from my body.
Right.
It's like a hat umbrella.
It is
I
like
think they have those.
they do.
I think they're more comical than anything, but
They're comical. Although I saw a parking lot attendant, one of those outdoor. This is a lot. I'm just charging someone to park here in very sunny Florida, and the man had one on, which made sense. But the bucket hat looks way less silly.
yeah, it does. Well, it's still a little silly, but I kind of like it.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's a bucket hat kind of day, and there's nothing at all you can do about it because it's still my birthday week. And on my birthday week, yeah, I do a week on both sides.
Okay.
So it's technically 2 weeks.
Right.
But so my birthday was on Wednesday.
Right.
So my birthday week was a week before that.
Okay.
Last Wednesday.
Yeah.
It'll go to next Wednesday.
Okay.
And that entire chunk is my birthday.
I'll allow it.
All right. Thank you. But what's been up, guys? It is Friday. We had a full week of fun podcasts. We talked about circuses.
We
talked about Jesus's deeds and the things that weren't written down.
Jesuses and circuses.
We talked about it all. But today is just a great day. It's May 13th. May the 13th be with you.
It's Friday the 13th.
It's Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
That's spooky.
It could be.
You know what's funny? We went to the paranormal circus last week, and we're like, why is a paranormal circus in May?
Right.
It seemed very Halloween-esque.
Right.
They should have done it this weekend.
Well, they are because they're traveling. I think they're in Lancaster.
Oh, well, those people in Lancaster are probably
it's a fun event.
real excited
for them.
on Friday the 13th. So do you ever feel like something that's going wrong in your life?
Yeah. Today.
Okay. And maybe do you blame yourself a little bit?
Do I blame myself? Yeah.
Okay. Well, don't.
Oh.
Because today is National Blame Someone Else Day.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. You don't get any...
I wish I would have known that. I was fighting with someone on the phone and I could have said, you know what? I blame you.
This is your fault.
This is all your fault.
Yeah. So,
I literally told her it wasn't her fault.
On National Blame
Someone Else Day.
Oh, no. Not on May 13th. Or it might be the second Friday of May. I don't know what the...
But it's today.
But it's today.
Of 2022.
And the whole idea of it, pretty strange, pretty different than most holidays, which is for yourself.
Yeah.
Is something going wrong? Well, guess what? It's someone else's fault today.
I like it.
Yeah.
Because I take blame all the time.
So
now I don't have to.
Maybe all the other days you can self-reflect and say, what can I do better? But not today. No. Today you look around and say, why am I where I am?
Why
because it's not because
am I
of me.
Subjected to you?
Yeah.
Right.
All the bad things that happen in my life, that's not because of me.
Right.
That's someone else did this. It's your fault. But
yeah. I lost my cool.
Did you?
On the phone.
And how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel very surprised. Very surprised. Now, it would not make the people who know me surprised because I have known.
You've been known to blow up a little bit.
I've been known to have a stereotypical Irish temper. and I thought I had made strides.
Oh.
And isn't it funny how something can happen where you're like, oh, I thought I was further along than that.
Yeah. But there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't mean all of the days you didn't blow up on people were pointless.
True.
It's everyone's got a little something in them, and it's all a work in progress.
Right.
To work on it. But also, I mean, the question always arises of, you don't want to be stepped on either.
That's true. That's true. And I hate, you said in one of those days or something, people often say, I just knew when I woke up this morning that it's going to be one of those days. Yeah. And now people say, don't say that because it's not true. You can make a self-fulfilling prophecy if you do that. And so when I knew today was Friday the 13th, my initial thought was, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Right? But I specifically said, don't do that. It could be a good day. It could be, but I don't know. First, I spilled a whole entire can of Red Bull on my couch.
Oh no!
Then after that was when I had the altercation on the phone with a very rude customer service person. Then my phone, which I thought was waterproof, and I was using it in the rain, the speaker became muffled from the rain accumulation.
Yeah.
It has since cleared out, but still. And so then I'm just thinking, like, what's happening? I'm trying to deny
the fact that there's negative energy surrounding today.
Yeah, but it's happening.
Well, what did Denzel Washington say to Will Smith?
He said, "Oh, when you're at your highest, the devil gets most interested."
Yeah, something like that.
Said it as if, yeah.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe it was like the devil saw that you were like, nope, I'm not going to let this day control me. And it's like, okay.
Really?
Well, how about this Red Bull?
Let's test.
Did that get you mad? Oh, how about this phone call?
You're right.
Did that get you mad? Oh, that little phone of yours. Let's put some water in it and see where that temper really is. But hey, it's all right, because you know what? It's we live in a fluid life.
Yeah.
That's always moving.
Yeah.
And so you've never ruined a day by getting mad. Mm-hmm. And if you that's the same way you start a day and say this is going to be a bad day.
Yeah.
If after all those things you say, now this was a bad day, it's like, you got a lot of day left.
That's what you literally do. You say, like, well, it's only going to get worse from here.
Yeah, today's just a bad day.
Right.
What else is you walk around with that rain cloud. And so there's a lot of day left. It can still be the best day ever, depending on what's going to happen in the next 6 hours.
You're right. Yeah, that is true. I've heard some people say different times about different times that I would have never thought it would end it that way. Like it started so crazy or so, disrupted. I can't believe it worked out.
Yes.
It ended well. So
hey, it's a good thing. What else? It's like May 13th. A lot of people are graduating.
Mick,
congratulations.
We have a relative who is going to be graduating, if he hasn't already, sometime in this month. Has to be.
Yeah, well, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it on the socials.
Yeah.
Today I feel like it's a big day, being that it's a Friday in mid-May.
Right.
But for people in college, for high school, I think it might be a little later. But
yeah,
it's graduation.
It's graduation time.
The completing of learning scholarly stuff.
Yep.
Graduating.
Worked very hard for it, and worked during a time in history that you didn't when you were in school, which was the quarantines.
No. Yeah.
So like 2020, 2021, 2022. Can you imagine?
Yeah, for people
past
that
3 years,
for
these
people
graduators
like me who got to go through all of schooling without being in COVID, it's crazy to think about some of those years, what the differences would be.
Yeah.
Especially, I would say someone who's graduating now, it basically took up their entirety of their high school or college or whatever grade they're in at this point. Even in elementary school, it's a complete It's a type of learning and a type of school environment that nobody has seen before it.
No.
And so I'm sure there was struggles.
Right.
And so maybe it makes the graduation all that more sweet or
even
bitter.
I know some teachers, and they talked about they never signed up to be
e-learning
to do e-learning.
Yeah.
And they were forced.
Yeah.
You will be teaching.
Well, because at the time, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, you're doing this for 2 weeks.
Right.
Okay, well, we're going to finish a month.
Right.
Okay, we'll finish a year. And it's like, next thing they know, they've been an online teacher for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're graduating. So happy graduation.
Happy graduation.
To you.
Hope for the best in the future wherever you go.
Yep.
Speaking of wherever you go, today is Friday. Mm-hmm. And for the past 17 months, it feels like we have a little segment here where we do something a little special.
Yeah.
And it is called Dr. Seuss Friday. On Dr. Seuss Friday, we celebrate Dr. Seuss.
Yes.
Theodore Lessig.
Right.
Is it Geisel or Lessig?
Oh my gosh, you're right. It's Geisel. And then when he's using his nom de plume, it's Theo Lessig.
Okay. That's so confusing.
Because his name is Theodore. His name is Is he a doctor?
He's not a doctor.
No, his name is Theodore Geisel.
Theodore Geisel. One pen name is Theo, and then his last name backwards, Lessig.
And the other pen
name that you know so well is Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss.
And Dr. Seuss was a great guy. He wrote books that captivated the imaginations of children and parents alike.
Yes.
With the characters and the colors and the words that were made up.
It's really clever.
It's really clever. And inside those stories, though, and that's what we talk about, are these deeper meanings.
Yes.
These concepts of life that are great for children because they can learn right and wrong, pride and greed, sharing and all of these good concepts that can foster a child to grow up into a world and be a good person.
Right.
And they're not just random books about rhymes. There's always a deeper meaning. There's always a meaning. There's always a message.
Yes.
And so now we are going back and looking at it with our adult brains, and we are saying, what can we get from this?
Right.
Because in the Bible it says, "Be more like children."
Yeah.
And part of that is the simple concepts that come so easily to children don't always come as easily to us, or we might forget them in this chaotic world that we have.
Right.
And so we're just going back book by book, and we are just checking it out. So that is Dr. Seuss Friday.
So the presentation of today is there.
So we are reading, I'm sure you've heard about this one before, Oh, the Places You'll Go. And earlier I brought up graduation, and people use this book for a graduation-esque book a lot.
College. And doctorate.
Yes.
So not kindergarten
sixth grade graduation.
Yeah, we're talking... It has really hit a note with the 20-somethings of today.
Yes, and so much so that even this is a special edition book that is a graduation keepsake edition. And so in the back, it has where you can write, or where the people can write around you.
Like if you had a party.
Yeah, if you had a party, and they'll sign it and stuff, and you'll. I
even saw an envelope in the very back. I guess. Keep your graduation cards.
Store keepsakes here. It says, "Oh, the things you'll remember."
Yeah.
But so it's graduation time. It's Dr. Seuss Friday. So what better book to read than Oh, the Places You'll Go?
Let's see why people were so.
Let's see what all the fuss is about. All right, here we go. La da 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 da. This book belongs to Spencer now. Oh, the Places You'll Go.
Or if we find a graduate,
yes,
we can give it to them.
Congratulations! Today is your day. Well, now it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Took the first two lines, and now I can see why. Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the guy who'll decide where to go. You'll look up and down streets, look them over with care. About some you will say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go any not-so-good street. And you may not find any, you'll want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. It's opener out there, in the wide open air. Out there things can happen, and frequently do, to people as brainy and footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew, just go right along, you'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll be on your way up. You'll see great sights. You'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang and you'll soon take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be best of the best. Wherever you go, you will top all the rest. Except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say, but sadly it's true, that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hung up in the prickly perch, and your gang will fly on, you'll be left in a lurch. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and the chances are then that you'll be in a slump. And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. You will come to a place where the streets are not marked. Some windows are lighted, but mostly they're darked. A place you could sprain both your elbow and chin. Do I dare to stay out? Do I dare to go in? How much can you lose? How much can you win? And if you go in, should you turn left or right and 3/4, or maybe not quite, or go around back and sneak in from behind? Simple it's not, I'm afraid you will find, for a mind maker upper to make up his mind. You can get so confused that you'll start into race down long wiggled roads at a breaknecking pace, and grind on for miles across weirdish wildish space, headed, I fear, towards a most useless place, the waiting place. For people just waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or waiting around for a yes or no, or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting. Waiting for a fish to bite. This is that teacher that was rapping Dr. Seuss.
Oh, this is what she said? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow. We're waiting around for a yes or a no, or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting.
Waiting for a fish to bite, or waiting for would fly a kite, or waiting around for Friday night, or waiting perhaps for their Uncle Jake, or a pot to boil, or a better break, or a string of pearls, or a pair of pants, or a wig with curls, or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. No, that's not for you. Somehow you'll escape all that waiting and staying. You'll find the bright places where the boom bands are playing. With banner flip-flapping, once more you'll ride high, ready for anything under the sky. Ready because you're that kind of a guy.
Or girl.
Oh, the places you'll go, there is fun to be done. There are points to be scored, there are games to be won, and the magical things you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of all. Fame, you will be famous as famous can be, with the whole wide world watching you win on TV. Except when they don't, because sometimes they won't. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too, games you can't win because you'll play against you. Oof. Okay, Dr. Seuss.
We need her.
All alone, whether you like it or not. Alone will be something you'll be quite a lot. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There are some down the road between hither and yon that can scare you so much you won't want to go on. But on you will go, though the weather will be foul. On you will go through your enemy's prowl. On you will go through the Hacken's cracks howl. Onward up many a frightening creek, though your arms may get sore and your sneakers may leak. On and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far, and face up your problems wherever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with so many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great act, and remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Kid, you'll move mountains. So, be your name Bucksbaum or Bixby or Bray, or Mordecai, Alley, Van Allen, O'Shea. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Oh, what a great book.
Great book.
I like this.
And it took a turn because I thought it was going to be all sunshine and roses.
That's what I thought.
All of a sudden, he said it's not always going to be great. And now I really love it. We have a recent graduate in our house. Avalon graduated college last May. This is her yearly, it was the year anniversary. Yes. And it was a little bit hard for her.
Yeah.
Because you graduate, you're looking forward to something, and it happens, and then it happened. And now it's over, and you're just trying. She's in the waiting room, I think.
Yeah.
And she's watching on social media now. All the people so excited to be graduates, and then so she's kind of like, I said, well, you shouldn't be sad because you know that. The party's going to end in June.
Yeah.
She's like, it's not the point. Like, I'm not part of them anymore, and it's a thing to be postgraduate.
Yeah. I like the book a lot. I guess just like, sort of like breaking down the parts of it.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I think And this, you can be graduating from anything. Like,
yes.
Really, it's not. We can talk about college because that's easy.
Because it's popular,
but
yeah.
This is sort of any transition of life, any like new beginning. And so in the beginning, he's chest out. He's walking through his town, which you can compare that to college, that you're used to, and head full of brains. He knows what street to go down and what street not to.
Right.
He knows it all. Or they know it all, and it's comfortable. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's I know what's right and what's wrong.
Top of your game, yeah.
But it's time to lose town because it's time to graduate. He's moving on.
Come out of the nest.
He's ready to go.
Yeah.
And almost immediately, the same way in the first town, he knew all the streets and stuff. He didn't. He said there was no street signs.
Right.
There was no way of navigating, and it was very confusing. And that's what you see all the time with like graduation and stuff. It's you are entering a world and if it's you could do the same thing if you move to another city, if you start another job.
Right.
It's this confusion. And one thing I really liked about this book was the waiting room.
Yeah.
And here's why.
Mm-hmm.
There was two different things that were happening. There was a waiting room, which they said people were waiting forever. And then there was all the other good and bads.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing in life where, let's say with the other, I'll leave the waiting room for last. Okay. But he would say all of these great things that were happening as he was exploring.
Right.
And then he would say, but that doesn't always happen. And so the same way there was that, like, you're out and playing games and stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then there was the opposite. It's like, well, that might not always happen. You might be very lonely. Right. And you're going to be lonely. And it's going to be hard. Or you might be around. Like, there was these juxtapositions of these good and bad and this not knowing. But then there was the waiting room, which you saw.
Okay.
Which almost was like, it was this idea of you're waiting for something to happen. You know, how many times it's like, oh, as soon as this happens, it'll be different. Right. And people or even there was like, they were talking about just waiting for Friday. And it's like, even in jobs people have, it's like, you're just waiting for the weekend. Of course. And it's just, you're in this hamster wheel. But it's almost easier, and he left the waiting room. It's almost easier to sometimes be in that waiting room.
Absolutely.
Than to risk the what's out there.
Right.
And what's out there is not all good.
Right.
And so it was he left, and then there was good and there was bad and there was good and there was bad. And I think a lot of people get hung up in the waiting room because even though it's not good, it's comfortable.
It's like a pause.
It's a pause. Mm-hmm. They're in what they know, and and by not venturing out because maybe you're scared of the bad, you're scared of the lonely place. That's one thing, but you'll never find the great place. Right. And all the good places you'll go. Anything?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. It doesn't turn off. Yeah, I was just enthralled with what you were saying, because what you were saying is so true and it's so personal. Yeah. And the good thing about the fact that this is a Dr. Seuss book, that it's wildly popular, and that all these graduates, other people as well, are relating to it, I always find that this communal feeling of loneliness makes things less lonely. Not that you got the friends, not that you went back to the school, not that you turned back the hands of time, but just knowing that there's someone else out there in their apartment also feeling a little bit like that, I feel is comforting. Yeah. And when you were talking and we said that it's popular with graduates, but it could be popular with anybody. For some reason, when you were, maybe the word waiting room, it made me think of medical. You know, when you have an illness or injury, and you're coming back from it, and they say like you'll be back to your old self and stuff. You will, but there's probably going to be times where it's harder, and you're going to have ups and downs, and but do the rehab, do whatever, because you, like you just said, you want to get out of the still spot and get back to action. Yeah, and another thing that I like about it is, I don't think I would have liked it as much if it was even, it's going to be tough, it's going to be tough, it's going to be tough. You got over the mountain, it's great now. Right. It was always, there's going to be some time, like, and I like that because I think it's a false expectation. Yeah. The same way of the waiting room, it's, I'm going to wait for this to happen.
even if you're not in the waiting room and it's like good things like my life is finally panned out. I got the job. I got the girl. I got the house. And it's like, there's still going to be lonely times. Yes. Like, and it's this constant motion of highs and lows.
Right.
And just keep moving through them all rather than being like, oh, it's low now, but I promise it's going to be all great. It's all going to be sunshine
and I'm glad
and
you pointed out that it's not just school, and it's every aspect, every stage of your life.
Yes.
You know, when you're pregnant, your partner's pregnant, you know, that's such a different time from when you weren't.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a waiting time. And then you have the baby, and you might think it's just going to be like pamper commercial when you have the baby, and it's not. But just fill in the blank of any stage of life, even aging. So, you know, you're going to be moving slower than you used to, or your eyesight or whatever is going to decrease. So that's going to be hard, but you know, you have to keep moving. So now spiritually, I'm just putting it with what happened to me today, where I told you I was disappointed that I thought I was a little bit more spiritually sophisticated, that I wouldn't react with anger and a quick tongue. But I guess that's the ups and downs of the spiritual life, where you know,
and then that's the thing, and there will be times where you'll let your emotions get the best of you. There will be times where you get angry, and it's like there will also be times where you feel spiritually sound, and I think that's another point. From a spirituality side, at the end of this is that it's that there's going to be times where you're ready to just read the Bible and do good deeds and stuff. And then
you're done.
And then there's going to be times where you don't feel, you know, it as much.
Like an example.
And once again, the idea is to not be in the waiting room with that. Is to keep pushing through and knowing, like, it's kind of like life is like a search. You know, you're searching for your purpose and your meaning and stuff. And no search is ever done in staying still.
Right.
And so it's like it's never going to all be sunshine and rainbows, and you're never going to do everything right. And the only way to, you know, get to, and you know what? I'm going to finish with this. Why? Let me see the end of this real quick.
I just love. He's underrated for the illustrations too. He made them, right?
Yeah.
Like, to be an artist and an author.
He is the
pretty
goat
impressive.
For that. Okay. Yes. Okay. I don't know why I had to read that. Do you know the other Oh, sorry. Do you know the other thing I like about this book? And it's with spirituality too.
Okay.
It's the places you'll go. Never once did he end up at a destination.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It was always continuous.
Yes.
And it didn't end, and then you'll find where you belong. That's I think with life and spirituality, that's also not the point. It's not, I need to reach here, I need to do this. It's the idea of life is to be living every day,
right,
and to be moving. And I think a fulfilled life is looking back and saying, these are all the things I did, and not I did that and I'm
straight
done.
Line. Yeah.
Yeah. I started here and I ended here. Or obviously that's life, but I reached my goal and then I finished. And with like the idea of there is something and I'm going to be done, or I'm going to have found my destination in life. No, it's all about
like a beeline.
Yeah, the places you'll go,
right,
the things you'll see, the experiences you'll have, highs and lows. Mm-hmm. And at the end of it, it's not you've reached it. It's retrospectively, I've done it all. I've done everything I wanted to do. And there's been highs and there's been lows, but I just kept on moving.
Yep.
But that is Dr. Seuss Friday.
Oh, do I have a sound
Happy
for that?
graduation to anyone who is graduating. And I can just imagine.
I thought it was cheers, but it was breaking glass. Sorry.
And I can just imagine the places you'll go. Have a good weekend, guys. Don't be in the waiting room all weekend. We'll see you again next week for Wednesday's podcast. Mm-hmm. It will be the last day of my birthday.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys. Have fun. Peace.